What's up, Star Wars fans? Today I want to talk about The Mandalorian Season 4 and give my predictions as to what could be coming in the next season of The Mandalorian. And right away, whether you hated or loved the season finale of Season 3, Season 4 is definitely a new start. The show after the last couple years has been building to taking back Mandalore, and well, that was accomplished. And of course, it seems like Moff Gideon has been defeated once and for all, so where exactly does the show go from here? Well, it's pretty obvious to me that this show is going to get back to its roots, that family-son relationship between Din Djarin and little Grogu, and because the show is going to scale down to the basic relationship between those two, it'll be much more open to overlapping with shows like The Skeleton Crew and the Ahsoka series. And something else that was set up in Season 3, and that has been hinted at in the Ahsoka series trailer, is that the show is gradually going to build back up, where our heroes are part of a larger group confronting Grand Admiral Thrawn. But let's get to some more specific predictions here. I believe there is definitely going to be a time jump between The Mandalorian Season 3 and 4. At least a year's time will have passed, and I believe this will be obvious because Din Djarin and Grogu are going to be much more efficient at working together. Now that Din Djarin and Grogu are officially father and son, and Grogu is Din's apprentice, so the series is really going to build off of that Season 3 finale, where Din Djarin's role really starts to progress from being a protector of Grogu to more of a mentor and trusting him to follow along and have an actual supporting role in what Mando is trying to accomplish. And so in Season 4, I'm really looking forward to that development between the apprentice and the master. But that all said, that's a softball prediction. Let's get to something a little more juicy. I think very early on in the series, Carson Teva and the New Republic Rangers are going to receive a message from Ahsoka Tano. She's going to be giving them a tip on hunting down a certain Imperial officer, and what starts as a normal run-of-the-mill bounty hunter collection for Din Djarin and Grogu will quickly start to escalate, revealing several things that'll tie the Mandalorian into the Ahsoka series. I believe Mando, Grogu, and the New Republic Rangers are going to start uncovering some of Grand Admiral Thrawn's Imperial remnant. I think in the timeline this will connect with the Ahsoka series as Ahsoka and Sabine go off into the unknown regions to track down Thrawn and Ezra Bridger. This makes a lot of sense to me because when Ahsoka and Sabine hopefully return to the known galaxy with Ezra Bridger, Mando and the New Republic Rangers have already identified Thrawn's Imperial remnant as a threat, meaning that we could even get a crossover with Ahsoka, Ezra, and Sabine showing up for the Mandalorian finale. But does that mean we're going to get Grand Admiral Thrawn as the main villain of Season 4? No, I don't think Thrawn will be fully revealed until the end of the season, at least not to Mando and the New Republic Rangers. I think Captain Pelion is going to be that main Imperial antagonist, but of course Captain Pelion isn't going to be a physical threat to Din Djarin and little Grogu, so wouldn't it be interesting if Shin Hati, the young dark Jedi apprentice, is someone that is sent after Din Djarin and little Grogu? I mean, how awesome would it be to see a Force user going up against Din Djarin? And again, keeping in mind that I think Grogu and Din are going to be much better at working together at this point, I don't think they'd be able to capture her, but they'd definitely be able to defend themselves. I mean, we saw in Season 2 that Din Djarin did pretty well versus Ahsoka Tano, so I think with him and Grogu working on a new level, they could definitely drive off any attack from the Dark Jedi Shin Hati. That said, I think the storyline of Din Djarin and little Grogu uncovering Thrawn's Imperial remnant will be part of the beginning and the end of this season. I think mid-season we could go back to Mandalore to see Bo-Katan and how the Mandalorians are doing, but my gut is telling me that that isn't going to be part of the story for Season 4. Now, we got lots of Mandalore and Bo-Katan in Season 3. That said, one character that we haven't seen since Season 2 of The Mandalorian is Boba Fett, and it would make a lot of sense that Boba Fett might hire Din Djarin and little Grogu to do some bounty hunting for him. It would certainly be awesome seeing Boba Fett, Fennec Shand, Din Djarin, and little Grogu working together to take down a monster around Mos Eisley, or even as we saw in the book of Boba Fett, that's trying to take over Mos Eisley for themselves. And of course, if Dave Filoni does want to use Fennec Shand and Boba Fett in his movie, this is a great opportunity to bring them back to the story, though honestly, if I had to bet, Boba Fett and Fennec are going to be left out of that movie. So there's my predictions for for Season 4 of The Mandalorian, no Moff Gideon, little to no Bo-Katan, it's truly going to be an exciting fresh start for Din Djarin and little Grogu. But hey Star Wars fans, that's my crazy speculation for today. Let me know in the comments below what you think we will get in Season 4 of The Mandalorian. As always, I'm Mike, and remember, the Force will be with you, always.